political oblivion. You said this fight is just beginning. You've even launched a political organization already. So let's just be straight about it. Are you considering running for president yourself?
Well, what I'm going to do, Savannah, is spend the next several months completing my work in Congress, obviously completing my work representing the people of Wyoming. We have a tremendous amount of work left to do on the January 6th committee. And also, though, I'm going to be making sure that people all around this country understand the stakes of what we're facing, understand the extent to which we've now got one major political party, my party, which has really become a cult of personality. And we've got to get this party back to a place where we're embracing the values and the principles on which it was founded, and talking about, fundamental issues of civics, fundamental issues of what does it mean to be a constitutional republic.
But Congresswoman, you didn't answer me yes or no.
It takes to keep Donald Trump. I will be doing whatever it takes to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office.
Well, I know you didn't say yes or no, and that's fine if you're thinking about it. But are you thinking about it? Are you thinking about running for president?
That's a decision that I'm going to make in the coming months, Savannah. I'm not going to make any announcements here this morning, but it is something that I'm thinking about, and I'll make a decision in the coming months.
Okay, sorry everybody. I was just enjoying that thoroughly. I'm supposed to have Mom queued up on the dial. Mom's listening. Hold on, Mom. I'm getting to you. I was so engrossed in Liz Cheney's obfuscation, and oh boy, I want to start talking about it. I can't start talking without Mom. Hold on, let's get Mom on the line. I'm embarrassed. There we go. It's coming. She's ready. She's going to answer. Hello. What do you mean, where am I?
Where's your video?
You're not watching it?
It's not up on my YouTube channel.
Uh-oh. So,
I've been looking for it.
Oh, interesting. Something, I wonder if anybody's watching. I wonder if we're up at all.
You put up the notification yesterday or the day before, and, I clicked, notify me.
All right. I mean, I see people are in here. There's a couple people so people have found it.
Huh.
Well,
right.
You're on the air, so you're in the show, but for some reason you had trouble finding it today.
Well, it looks like YouTube has just done away with me.
I wonder. I mean, I see in the comment section, Urek is there and Cindy Bennett's there and Ann Shaw. I'm just going to read off my PR Trump. I'm just reading off a couple of the names of the people commenting in the comment section.
Okay.
So there's people in there, Mom, and they're even saying your name.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. I can't see you yet, but.
Well, you're just going to have to do this one cold. You're just going to have to go by the sound of my voice. Come this way, Mom. Come this way. Follow me. I know you like to see what's going on, but trust me. Close your eyes.
Walk this way. Right.
All right. So I'll give you one guess as to what our topic is today.
Let's see. Oh, gosh.
Maybe three guesses. Maybe three guesses.
I'll try not to think about it too long.
Something big happened yesterday.
Well, Liz Cheney.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah. You only needed. I knew you only needed one guess, Mom. So the video we played at the top was XYZ Legacy Media talking head interviewing Liz Cheney and asking her, "Are you going to run for president now?" So, like this woman just gets crushed, right? Totally devastatingly crushed, right? It's almost, I don't know what the final tallies were, but when I last checked, or when it was called, like by NBC, you got to go with the Legacy Media because it was over before then, but they call it, and she was up and she was down by 19.5 points or something. 19.5 points. That's not just a landslide. That is like a devastating, explosive destruction. You can't even come up with enough adjective to describe how humiliating a loss, that is, for the J6 committee. It's not just Liz Cheney, but this reflects upon the J6 committee. Like this is such nonsense going on. And so they asked her point blank, are you running for president? And then she goes off and on tangents and doesn't answer the question. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm getting updated numbers. Ann Shaw says, Liz is now Honest Abe. Harriet was at 66% with Liz at 29%. So that's according to Ann Shaw in our comment section. So what do you think Liz said about running for office? What do you think her political answer was running for president?
Well, look, I have a lot of things to say about this.
Go.
Not just about her comments for running for president. Okay.
The floor is yours.
What?
The floor is yours.
Oh, okay.
I know your eyes are closed and you don't know what's going on, but you're standing on a stage by yourself right now, and the audience is waiting in rapt attention. Go ahead.
I'm just, this whole Liz Cheney thing. Liz Cheney and what she has done, she has set herself up she represents what I say all the time about politics, and that is politics corrupts governments. What she has done is the good people of Wyoming elected her in 2016, right?
I guess that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. And what is her job description after that? I can sum it up in 6 words. Not just Liz Cheney, but all of Congress. When you're elected, your job description can be summed up in 6 words. And these are the words: represent the people who elected you. You are not doing your job if you don't even know what it is that the people elected you for. What is that? Is it go to Washington, D.C., and once you're in office, use that office for your personal vendettas? No. That's not what it's for. And I'm letting my son know, because he's made some comments about representing the people in whatever form he chooses. When you choose to do that, don't you forget what those reasons are. And if you have forgotten, then you go back to your constituents, have a little chit-chat with them, ask them how you're doing. Am I representing you? Liz Cheney never represented the good people of Wyoming. This is what's wrong with Congress. The people are not being represented. Everybody has their own personal agendas, personal vendettas. And Liz Cheney, when she ran up against Trump, and Trump opened his mouth to reveal some truths about her father, then her feelings got hurt.
Oh, right.
And she forgot completely about the people who elected her in the first place. That's what this is about. She thinks she's going to run for president of the United States. This lady needs help. She needs to go on Dr. Phil. And I guess that's all I have to say.
You're going really well, Mom. I'm sure you've got the audience rolling in the aisles. So,
well, you asked me.
Well, you said a number of things, and I'm glad you actually pointed out that there was that moment, right? There was a moment when Trump stepped on her toe or whatever.
Yeah, during the primaries.
Mm.
During the primaries, Trump ripped McCain a new, you know what?
McCain and then Cheney also. right?
And Cheney.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of them.
So,
but, you know,
go ahead.
Well, Meghan McCain is just another Liz Cheney, you know.
Well, it's the old guard, and it's actually what Trump did. He didn't only smash, or the way I describe it, I try to describe it to a friend. Whatever happens in the future, 2016 was a permanent crack, right? If you get a crack in your windshield, it's not going away. There may be some companies that can, preserve your windshield or whatever, but that crack's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you got to replace the windshield. So what Trump was is a huge rock smashing into the veneer of the deep state, right? And the deep state, it's not Democrat and it's not Republican. It's all of the above. It's the political class, the ruling class. So we're not really Republicans versus Democrats. We're ruling class versus everybody else. And so the ruling class, what you're talking about, Liz Cheney, she's like, I'm going to represent the people. And then she gets into a position of power and things change. And she sees, the power struggle at the top is like, who's got control here? I'm going to cater to them. Oh yeah, I'll be on your J6 committee because I hate Trump, right? And she thinks that's her ladder up in advancing in power rather than representing the people. She has entered the ruling class. And what Trump did is expose that, right, on both sides, not just the corrupt Democrats, but the corrupt Republicans. And people are, when you make that choice, you're making you're wagering on the future, right? Liz Cheney wagered on the future, thinking that this machine that had been in place for all this time was going to continue. Yet it's not, because that crack that Trump made in 2016 is only opened wider and wider and wider. And it's time to completely replace the windshield. And I guess the windshield in this analogy is the ruling class, the deep state, right? And it's happening. It just happened in Wyoming. It's an example, and not just eked it out. It was devastating. It was like, so Trump put out a video right away, sing it. It's that song, na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye. So it's that music to a montage of Trump at various events where he likes to punch his fists in the air and kind of move around. And so it's a beautiful video, because he's actually in rhythm with the music. The editor did it well. He's in rhythm with the music. And at the bottom of the screen is a tweet or something from his son, from one of his sons, I think Eric Trump, maybe. It says, "Bye, Liz. Now you don't have to pretend you're from Wyoming anymore." But I want to get back. You didn't see the video, so I want to get back to how Liz's response to, are you going to run for president? And the first thing she did, she went obfuscation. She goes, I'm going to do everything I can to keep Donald Trump from coming back into power, basically. Everything I can. So this FBI raid at Mar-a-Lago, this fishing expedition, essentially it was, you've been following that, right?
Yeah, right.
So rather than, who was I listening to? I don't listen to Ben Shapiro all the time, but Ben Shapiro is a constitutional scholar, right? He's a legal expert.
Yeah, I know who he is. And
so I got a good dose of him yesterday, a little bit. And he's like, normally in criminal justice and FBI, the Department of Justice, or the marshals, the U.S. Marshals, when they're going after, where do I start this sentence? They wait until they have their case built, right? They wait until they have their case built. Yeah. And the very end, when they know they have a solid case, that's when you plan the raid. Right, you go in to just get nails, like the last. We already know we're going to win, and now we're going to raid and just kind of icing on the cake, because it's the point of no return. The raid is it's essentially supposed to be the end of the investigation. It's like, that's how it
right.
culminates. This is upside down. They've been investigating, can't find anything. And then they stage a raid and just take everything and pour through it. And hopefully we'll find something to insert into this narrative, this investigation thing. And so all of that to say, Liz Cheney has been sitting on a huge balloon of hope, right? It's like they think, you know, they're going to find something that he must be evil. And this balloon that they're sitting on is really a really thin layer of rubber, and it just got popped, and it's just like, and Liz Cheney is, you know, a deer in the headlights. She made her choice. She made a whole bunch of money in the short time that she's been in office, and
$30-some million, 36 million, they said.
Yeah. So
where did that come from?
Who knows? You know, it's like, will we ever know? And it doesn't matter, right? Because everybody in Washington, as soon as they see how easy it is to get rich, that's how they get polluted and corrupted, right? They see.
There you go.
It's the lobbyists. It's Chinese money. A ton of Chinese money, but not just Chinese money. There's international interests that are just camped out in Washington, D.C., right? Washington, D.C. is the hub of the world. And they just have these strategies for corrupting our politicians, and they succeed. And some of them get shamed out. And today's a good day. Yesterday's a good day. Today's a good day. We are now free of the barnacle of Liz Cheney. She has no power. She's a lame duck. She's going to sit on that J6 committee and, I don't know, twiddle her thumbs until she gets another paycheck or something. I don't know. But running for office is the funniest thing. All right. I got to read some of these comments in the comment section. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go. Indy Nana. Welcome, Indy Nana. By the way, any of you viewing, it's nice to see you. I'm seeing some new names in the comment section. And so we're going to take some time to read a couple of these. Liz Crazy said she would do, crazy, it's good instead of Cheney. Liz Crazy said she would do everything in her power to keep Donald Trump away from the Oval Office. Who the heck does she think she is? It is not up to her. At least it should be up to the voters, right? It's like everything in your power. It's like this reminds me of the insurance policy. Remember Strzok and Page, the FBI lawyer, and the FBI, so totally corrupt. It's like, I've got an insurance. We're going to make sure it doesn't happen. An insurance policy. What do you got, Liz? What's your insurance policy to keep him out of office? All right, wait, I want to read that. Bill Boyer, put that back up. Bill Boyer. Unless this is inappropriate now. Bill Boyer. Oh, I know this guy. Okay, I'm envious of the beard. I got beard envy. Someday I need to get a sign off from the boss here to someday be able to have a beard that I can grab with both hands. That's what Bill has here. Howdy, Patriots. Wash hands. So that, I think, is an emoji, hand washing. Salty Army Indiana Division in the house. Whee! All right, so this re thing is a thing that goes around on YouTube, and whenever you hear re, I actually don't know the etymology of it, but it's us. It's the right. It's the good people. All right, Cindy Bennett has something she wants me to tell you. Tell my mom. Wait, her mom. Tell my mom it's worse than she can imagine, but she can't handle all of it. She is comfortable in this. Oh, maybe I'm sorry. This may be a comment about someone else in the chat. Sorry. Sorry, Cindy. I don't know if this is private information that we're really revealing. Right?
Hi, Cindy.
I want to see put Urek Kerry. Yeah, they get rich as they purposely bleed us dry. Well, let's go in that direction. The Inflation Reduction Act. You know, you've been around long enough, 78 years, Mom. When you hear the name of some act passed by our government, what does it make you think?
Oh, God. We need 3 hours to explain what I think. Here's the first thing. When I heard that, I thought, first they're screaming. For a year, they're screaming, oh, there's zero inflation. There's zero inflation.
It's transitory.
There's zero inflation. And then the next day they come out with an Inflation Reduction Act.
Yeah.
What's more insane than that? It's no wonder the American people are confused. Jeez. That's what I think.
Well, it reminds me of, for example, the PLA. You know what the PLA is?
The Palestinian Liberation Organization.
That's the PLO.
PLO.
Right. PLA.
Go ahead.
You're on the right track. The PLA is the People's Liberation Army, right? It's the communist boots on the ground, the People's Liberation Army. You know what the People's Liberation Army does? It enslaves people. It's literally how China keeps their population in line, right? So it's the opposite of it. Did you know that? Because my wife is Chinese, I deal with Chinese people all the time, people that come and go or have recently been in mainland China. I know somebody who got out of Shanghai just before the insane lockdowns. I was just talking to them, and like, those people have no idea what's going on in the world. The citizens of China have no idea what's going on in the world. That's liberation, right? The people. So when I hear the name Inflation Reduction Act, I think of how those kind of governments, communist governments, they literally name something the opposite of what it is, right? And it's like Antifa is anti-fascist, but they use fascist tactics, right? It's like, wait a minute, you're not anti-fascist. You just pick that name so everybody thinks, all the dumb numbskulls on camera are like, well, it's anti-fascist. Obviously, they're not fascist because they picked a name, and the Inflation Reduction Act that's going to not do anything about reducing inflation, rather. Right. But it also gives me pause and makes me think. Remember the Patriot Act? Do you remember what
that was? Right after 9/11.
Right. And so we as humans tend to have this do something disease. Horrible thing happened, and so a bunch of legislators get together and say, let's do this and this and this as a response to this horrible thing that happened. And in that mix, you've got legislators going, well, I can get power if this thing's going to pass, because everybody's going to emotionally vote for it. They're going to emotionally vote for this thing. I'm going to slide some powers in there. And the Patriot Act has some extremely unpatriotic legislation that an end needs to be put to them. So whenever you hear some phrase coming from the administration or the deep state, it's those who have ears to hear understand what's going on. The Inflation Reduction Act is just PR that lines their pockets and their friends' pockets with money. That's all it is. It's a money grab, while the grabbing is good, because the dollar is in trouble.
Well, I've learned anything that I hear coming out of Washington, I immediately begin to think the opposite. Yeah, that's what I do.
And it's a pretty safe bet, right? It's a pretty safe bet.
Well, look around.
I want to get back to Trump, though. I'm going to make an observation about Trump, and I want to know what you think, because when it really is the ruling class versus the people. But then you think about Trump, it's like, well, he's rich, he's a billionaire. But he's not a part of the deep state. He's not a politician. The first political office he ran for in his life was a president of the United States, right? The first political office he ran for. So he was an outsider, right? He was at the most powerful position. So it's this conundrum. They didn't think it could happen. They didn't think it was possible, and it did. And it permanently changed everything. The permanent change has already happened. Now it's a gradual unveiling, right? So Trump is only getting stronger, and everything they do to him, they can't understand a political animal like him, because he's not like them. They have a playbook. They know how political animals are supposed to behave. And he's like, I'm a new political animal. I'm the kind of political animal that doesn't go away and gets stronger. Like, there's video games. Okay, here's a video game analogy, and then I'll let you talk, Mom. There are powers in certain video games where the enemy shoots at you. The enemy will shoot something at you, and you use your power, a certain special power, that you catch their attack, and it strengthens you. So they think they're destroying you, but by this superpower that you have, every time they shoot at you, you actually get stronger and more powerful. That's the power that Trump has, and they have no counter attack to it. They have all they can do is like, we're going to use the administrative state. We're going to use the law enforcement state and take him out and indict him. Do you think Donald Trump's going to be indicted?
Do I think he's going to be indicted?
Yeah.
I'm on a strange fence right now. And, in all honesty, it's a gut feeling. And I'm not sure if it's just my flesh or if it's a spiritual red flag of some kind. I haven't figured it out yet because not enough has happened, I suppose. Mm-hmm. But I really feel in my gut that Trump is not going to run in 2024. Now, if you ask me why do I feel that way? I can't yet explain it, but there's just something about it. This next whole year is fraught with all kinds of unexpected. Let's put it that way.
Well, so if the last year is any indicator, I think you're right, Mom. That's no fair. That's an easy prophecy.
We say it isn't over till it's over, and God is in control. So I'm sticking with, what is it that God is unfolding for us, and what meaning should we be taking out of all of this? That's kind of where I am, but there's just something in my gut saying Trump will not be running in 2024. And I'd run down the list. Does it mean he's not here anymore? Does it mean he's in prison?
There's a comment up I'm going to read to you. And the producer had the right instincts. I wanted them to hold it up, and they are holding up this comment. But before I read the comment, so this would be a tease for you because you don't see it. Everybody watching sees the comment, but you don't yet.
I know.
So we're going to kind of mark this day. Mom prophesies Trump won't be running because everybody, like, if he runs, he's going to win. Everybody thinks he's going to win. The raid strengthened him, but there are life circumstances that none of us know. So you have a sense, right? And we all hope you're wrong, but we don't know.
Well, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I don't want to feel this way.
So let me read this comment, and then I'm going to expound upon it. We only have 2.5 minutes left, so hold on. So this is from Carrie, our regular Carrie Jumper, or Urek Ripmudge.
Yeah.
He can still run for president even from jail, and he'll still win. This actually, that's something that I say regularly. It's like putting him in jail doesn't stop him. It makes him stronger. Whatever they do makes him stronger. But that doesn't mean still that, there's a time coming, right? And we don't know what his health is or
But if he's in jail on a felony disqualifies him.
That's not necessarily the case, right? You can go to legal scholars and find out, right? So we can say that and think that, but, right, there's all kinds of things that we have thought were true or that we've relied upon being true that aren't, right? The FBI raiding the former president. Anyway, lost my train of thought. I was going to ask you something. Sorry. Well, time is running out, Mom. I want you to have the last. Actually, President Trump is running for president. So he's going to declare. It still doesn't mean, right? We don't know what time ticking off the clock. It doesn't matter what happens to him. Whether it's Trump in 2024 or DeSantis in 2024 or Marjorie Taylor Greene or somebody, right? It's going to be a red wave, and it's Trumpism, right? Trump is bigger than just the guy. He's a movement. He's the front edge of a movement, and history books will look back at this as the biggest political movement in U.S. history, right? This is the biggest political movement in U.S. history, and it's a good thing, and it's being portrayed as a bad thing. And Liz Cheney is feeling it. She's feeling the brunt of it. So bye-bye, Liz.
Yeah.
You've got
Liz
20
Cheney
seconds, Mom.
Trumped.
Liz Cheney got trumped. He's trolling her too. He is trolling her. He's the master troll. All right, I want to read Gina's comment real quick. It doesn't matter if he runs or not. He started a movement that will endure. We're awake. Yeah, the crack started in 2016, and it's only gotten wider and wider and wider. And that both.
God's ways are higher than our ways.
Yep. He's in control. He's in control. Love you guys. All right. I'll see you next week, Mom.
Okay.
Love
Bye-bye.